Good morning, you guys. So I'm sitting here drinking my coffee, working on my blanket, watching Stuart Ashens eat weird things, trying to get ready for my day. I have a couple errands to run this morning. I have a cake that I'm going to drop off at our church office for the staff. I'm going to drop off and see. I'm going to see if that shawl with cuffs that I made, I'm going to see if that fits one of my friends who's far more petite than I am. I'm going to stop by the Hobby Lobby that's over there on that side of town and see if I can find 2 or 3 more balls of this color. I'm so close to being the right width. You know, I've been testing it across my lap, but I'm a little bit shy. Like if I want to pull it up to my chin and just lay under it, I'm a little bit shy on the width there. I don't have much left of balls 13 and 14, so I'm a little bit hesitant to say 15 balls is going to be enough for this kind of blanket, just because of how long I made it too. I mean, with all 15 balls, this blanket's going to be just shy of 5 pounds. Which is very, very heavy for a sofa-sized blanket, but it is almost 6 feet long too, so I made it to where it was long enough that I could have it draping off my feet when I sit on the recliner. So I think if I put 4 more balls in, that will be enough. And if I can find that here locally, I don't mind, ordering 2 balls just to do the border on it. But I'll call it done after I get the base blanket done. My store, let's see, I bought the last 3 balls they had last week. And when I was there with Troy the other day, they didn't have any more. So I know my store takes anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks to replenish yarn when they sell out of a colorway. And part of that's because this is one of those colorways that's on the bottom shelf. Part of it is the fact that I don't know when they do their order placement for their yarn department. There are 2 ladies that work back there, and one of them is really, really good at noticing holes, and the other one, sometimes I question whether or not she even notices things are empty. It's always been funny, the difference in the 2 stores. The store on my side of town is newer. I used to live... So, short story time. Many years ago, we lived literally smack dab in the middle of the city. And we've lived in 3 different places here over the last 15 years before we decided to buy a house. And that house was like the most perfectly positioned house ever to do things because it was literally smack dab in the middle of the city. Then we moved all the way up to the north end of the city. And it took us, I think it was taking us 25 minutes to get to the church. And now we're a little bit closer in, but we're still outside of the city limits and stuff. So it takes us 18 minutes to get there, where we used to live. But one summer, in order to earn my ability to craft or earn a treat, I would have to go walk to it. And I think it was when my car was broken is when it started. And we just we couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. And it was at the shop for like a month and a half. It took forever to get fixed. But I would walk to that Hobby Lobby. And on the way back, because I had gone on a 2-mile walk, because it was almost a mile to the store, on my way back, I'd stop at Publix and get one of those, not the little ones that you get in the bag, but the giant Honeycrisp apples that are almost a pound each. And that would be my candy treat, because those suckers are, okay, yes, it's a 1 pound apple. Of course, it's going to cost half a fortune. But at the time, Honeycrisp had just become very popular. So they were like $3 apples, $4 apples. So I was trying to get in shape. I was trying to incent myself to move more. I had had surgery and had been feeling that in and of itself was a 2-year saga of depleted energy, and we couldn't figure out what was going on. And apparently I had a fatty tumor eat a lymph node, and the fatty tumor tried to act like my lymph node. So it impacted all sorts of parts of my body, and it was just absolutely ridiculous. And I couldn't get a diagnosis from anybody of what was going on. I had a giant knot on the side of my neck, and it just was awful. But I was constantly trying to find ways to make myself get up and move during, like, right before the surgery and then after I'd healed from the surgery, because it just had totally wrecked my energy. That's also in the same time frame of where my weight went up and then just stopped, and I couldn't lose weight. It wasn't gaining weight, but I couldn't lose any of it, and I was still very overweight. Obviously I've still not lost the weight. I'd gotten down somewhat, and then started getting what can only best be described as the annual plague. Some years it was pneumonia, other years it was bleh. And I had to go on prednisone, and that every time I take prednisone, it's 15 pounds of weight gain. I can lose about 5 of it, but I can never lose all 15. So no matter how much I calorie restrict for 3 months after doing it, no matter how vigilant I am about what I eat, everybody always says, oh, well, when you're on steroids, yeah. No, I don't eat anymore. I actually eat less, but no matter what I do, that's 15 pounds. So the whole, like, weird weight struggle with the other parts of my health was starting about that same time. So I'd walk to Hobby Lobby over there, and I got to know their ordering and the way they did things and how they clearance things out a lot better. And it's just funny how different these two stores are, because now this other one's my primary store because it's 5 minutes up the street. But I still know the buying and purchasing habits of the other store, even though they've been through 3 or 4 department leaders in the departments I normally shop in. So it's always funny, but that store is right there by the interstate where I will get on and off to run my errands in town. So when I say I'm going in town, literally, like, in town is 15 minutes for me, but it is all interstate. It's not nearly as dramatic as it sounds. Now going the next town over, where I was saying the liquor store is, my doctor's office is, where I didn't want to have to go last week for some of the stuff I was looking for. Now that is, getting from my house to my doctor's office is 35 minutes with no traffic. I mean, that is at least pretty far out there. But if you have to make a trip like that, there are lots of other things to do on that side of town. You go through the major shopping zone with the big mall and everything for our community, but I still need to do some stocking stuffer shopping. So I might poke my head into a couple of different places while I'm over in town. It'll depend on how tired Tater Tot is and how long it takes me to drop off the shawl with cuffs and the cake at the church. But we shall see. If nothing else, it'll be more entertaining than yesterday, where even though I was doing nothing, I still managed to somehow forget to record a ending video. I did want to show you real quick. This is where I was on Saturday when I told you part of what I was doing was testing out the clips, the clip style, safety pin style stitch markers from Hobby Lobby. And I did hit almost exactly 1 foot since Saturday morning. But I'm still just... I think part of it is I forget how broad I am. Now, I know this is going to stretch a lot because I'm working... This is exactly how I'm working it. So everything is piled up in my lap, so none of the stitches are being stretched as they're being worked. So I know I've got some added width in the blanket just from the weight not being pulled out on it, but not quite enough to where I feel comfortable that I can just end it. But after, I mean, that's what I have left. And you can see my skeins have already collapsed. I've only got about 2 loops on the skein there. I only have 1 more ball, so I don't think that's going to be quite enough. So if I can find, 2 or 3 balls at the other store, that would definitely work out better for me. I am still going to try to do my hair and makeup and film a regular sit down with you guys. But yeah, I'm loving how my edge is actually fairly straight this time. Sometimes, I think it's because with the seed stitch, you're only doing a chain 1 or a chain 2 on the edges, so it actually does keep your edge tight. But I cheat over on a lot of blankets because I tend to have a loose chain, and this is still stretchy. I don't know how well you can see that with my left hand, but I'm not cheating it over. But the problem with cheating it over is on blankets, sometimes you can, if you go into the 2nd chain instead of the 3rd chain on a double crochet, it can make your edge too tight, and steam blocking doesn't pull all that out. So I really want this to just kind of lay out and feel nice, but we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to finishing this up, and I really want to start working on that Kelsey shawl again and get that finished up hopefully before the end of the year. But I am very close to hitting my 25-pound challenge goal. My first video was the 28th of August, and I said I wanted to use 25 pounds of yarn by the end of the year. And I wasn't at the time thinking about doing blankets, but this is my 2nd blanket, and those 2 blankets have really goosed how much yarn I'm using. So we'll see how it works out. But I think I may actually, because of this blanket, I may actually make the challenge goal. So, all right, I've already managed to yak at you for 13 minutes this morning, which is longer than half my videos. So I hope y'all enjoy the weirdness that is my morning babble, and I will catch you guys in a little bit. Oh, boy, you guys, I swear I must come off as a total and utter Wack A Doo. I just got done filming my big show and tell for the last 3 weeks. And I literally feel like I am a lunatic. Not only am I locked up in a room full of weird crafty things, talking to myself, but even I'm like, dude, shut up. I think a lot of it has to, I'm very tired. I mean, you see the bags under my eyes and stuff. I'm not hitting REM sleep. I'm very tired, so I'm going to try to go take a nap. See where that lands me for the rest of the day. I will catch you guys on the flip side. You guys, I almost just about had a heart attack. We barely averted disaster here. Well, I mean, it still would have matched the yarn, but that would be the 2nd time I would have dunked my yarn for this project into a cup today. Hey guys, so at this point I'm not really like fit to be seen on camera. I'm heading to bed. So I'm just gonna keep here painting back and forth while I tell y'all good night. Because I actually remembered to do a sign off for tonight's video. But I hope you guys had a great day. I spent the bulk of it running errands, filming, you know, the normal stuff. So I will catch you guys in the morning. Bye.